Hi, Raul. Congratulations on winning the Best Concept Award for Power Off. This is a precise, powerful, and deeply relevant work that not only tells a story, but challenges the viewer to reflect their own role in what they see.
Hi Nina, I am so incredibly grateful for the Best Concept Award for Power Off back in April. That recognition truly means a great deal to me. I cannot thank you enough for this honor.
We would love to ask you a few questions about your project and creative process. The idea of parallel realities unfolding in sync is incredibly striking. Where did this concept begin, and what was the very first image or thought behind it?
The idea came from a trip my partner and I took to Sarajevo. My partner happened to buy this bag over there that features the slogan, "Books, not bombs." That simple idea really got stuck in my head, and it kept obsessively turning over and over in my mind for quite a while. I started imagining a mother who was protecting her young daughter through the power of reading. This concept felt incredibly powerful to me, and it became the actual starting point for developing this entire project.
You speak about the emotional distance we create from others' suffering. Did this observation come from personal experience or from reflecting on global events in recent years?
The emotional distance I'm talking about speaks as much to my personal experience as it does to everything we're perceiving is happening on a global scale in today's world. I think that now more than ever, we are very connected to everything happening in the world objectively, but very disconnected from what is happening in the world subjectively and through emotion. Ah, deep down, it's not about judging anyone for doing it. I think that in a way, what we're doing is protecting ourselves emotionally so we can keep going day to day. It is a knee-jerk reaction, I suppose, but I truly believe that we really must take a moment to reflect. And here, I believe it is, in part, the underlying intention of this short film, although I have always preferred to let the viewer arrive at their own personal interpretation regarding where we currently stand on a human level. Seeing all the misfortune that's happening and that we are living in a different part of society in much more comfortable circumstances, I think we can keep that human perspective, not lose it. And I truly believe that art is a wonderful way to express our inner selves, to challenge our perspectives, and to encourage us to reflect upon the life we have had to live, as well as the life we are currently experiencing.
The split screen feels not just like a visual device, but like a storytelling language. When did you realize this was the right form for the idea?
The split screen was used really well in 70s cinema. However, it was utilized in a narrative sense, featuring two characters who appear consistently throughout the story and who interact directly with one another. The idea that those characters didn't know each other, I found fascinating. The fact that they were connected through their actions, involving the audience in that synchronicity of movement and action, enhanced the empathy. The fact that it enhanced empathy gave tremendous meaning to the split screen. The short film wouldn't be the same without the split screen, even if the message remained the same. The beauty of the short film lies right here. It's in the use of technology to explain a very human subject, and the split screen was tremendously useful and tremendously necessary to tell the story. Without it, this short film wouldn't exist. It's a resource that has helped me explain the narrative, the storytelling of what I wanted to convey.
The same actions, gestures, and routines repeat in both realities. How challenging was it to construct this synchronicity at the level of writing and editing?
When it came to the writing process, I was absolutely certain that I wanted to divide the scenes into three distinct parts: the morning, the afternoon, and the night. That approach would assist me, let's just say in a very practical way, to edit the sequences using a split screen format and to be able to generate them effectively using artificial intelligence. In the morning, there was a very mundane activity. Having breakfast, in the afternoon, the girls would play while the mothers watched. The mother in the war zone looked out the window to see what was happening. On the other hand, the mother on the right was simply looking at her phone. Two distinct and separate realities, yet both of them seek the exact same action to foster that profound level of empathy. At night, both of them would help their young daughter rest and drift off to sleep through the act of reading.
The moment when one reality disappears is one of the most powerful in the film. What does that black frame mean to you personally?
When I first started working on the story, I didn't have that specific detail in mind. I did have the whole script clearly mapped out. I had envisioned everything that would happen in each scene. I had the timing all figured out, and I certainly knew that the mother would turn off the television with the remote. But that specific frame appeared on its own. It was absolutely, fundamentally necessary. It truly came from deep within me. I felt such profound empathy for the left side and equal empathy for the right that I finally said, the left side truly deserves that black frame. The left side deserves that silence, that absolute hollow void. Because the very moment that we merge these two realities and allow one of them to cease to exist, that is when we truly realize that even though we are living our normal day-to-day lives, there are many parts of the world that simply cannot do the same, all because of the harsh circumstances and circumstances they have been forced to face. It is, in my own way, a method of showing deep respect for those specific lived realities. That stark black frame, I truly believe, is the very thing that makes this short film finally make sense to me. And to be perfectly honest, when I finally reached that particular point, I inevitably found myself in tears. I have never experienced this in an AI-generated short film before, where I interacted with the characters in a way that they engaged with me throughout the story and managed to make me cry at the key moment, guiding me through the creative process to that final black frame, which I'm incredibly fond of. I honestly believe that it came from deep within my gut. It really came straight from the gut.
The final gesture, turning off the television, is simple yet deeply unsettling. Did you want the viewer to feel guilt or rather recognition without judgment?
At the end of the short film, when the mother turns off the TV with the remote, she never meant to make anyone feel guilty. I have always lived through both of these stories by allowing each of the characters to express themselves in a completely objective manner. And at no point in time did I ever want to pass any sort of judgment upon the audience. In a way, this mother was also protecting her daughter. She was really protecting herself through the simple, everyday, mundane act of turning off the television set. I really don't want to pass any judgment on that mother. Initially, when I began the process of making this short film, I felt quite conflicted about that part. But as I continued creating it, I started to truly empathize. Both of these mothers simply want what is best for their daughter. Ultimately, both mothers just want what is best. At that very moment, my thoughts drifted back to my mother, and that was when I made the firm decision to dedicate this work to her. Often, when the news reported disturbing things, my mother would try to shield me as a child. I truly know she never meant any harm. I don't believe this is the appropriate moment for us to offer criticism. I think everyone here feels a little bit called out by this situation. We live in a society where hypocrisy is simply an ingrained part of our daily lives. However, we shouldn't use that as a convenient way to judge those around us. Instead, we should see it as an opportunity to look in the mirror and say, this is what we're doing. Let's reflect. Let's see what's happening. Let's see if turning off the television is really the way to turn off reality, or if that uncomfortable left side, that blacked out part, is still happening in the world. There are still many lives that are fading away. It is essentially a way of attempting to convey the reality that we are living in a truly globalized world and that we are all fundamentally connected to everything that occurs across the globe. It was my own personal way of paying a heartfelt tribute to those incredible mothers and those wonderful families who are doing whatever they possibly can just to get by from one day to the next.
From what I've noticed, there's no clear right or wrong side in the film. How important was it for you to avoid moralizing the story?
As I have mentioned to you before, I have not attempted to moralize at any point in this story. Therefore, there really isn't a clear good side or a bad side to be found. Instead, there are simply two distinct sides. Each side is, in its own way, perfectly in sync to empathize with the other. They each create a sharp contrast with one another, but at no point is it ever meant to suggest that this is the good side or that this is the bad side. Both of these distinct elements are merely parts of a greater whole that provide this short film with its reflective purpose, leaving it entirely up to the individual viewer to interpret the narrative and reach their own personal conclusions. For me, cinema is it's the art of storytelling and leaving the possibility open for the viewer to complete their own story. I think it's magical to be able to achieve that kind of cinema where not everything is wrapped up, but rather left open so that the film stays with you once you've left the theater.
You mentioned that you wanted to use AI not as a gimmick, but in service of meaning. What tools or software did you use in creating the film?
In my own personal opinion, artificial intelligence should never, under any circumstances, be, let's say, the primary reason for telling a story. Storytelling is the reason to use artificial intelligence. Storytelling will never die. Artificial intelligence, in a month or two, the technology, it can become obsolete. But true stories stand the test of time. Times are different now. In traditional cinema, we already saw it with the shift from black and white to color, CGI, special effects, more made with practical means, with models. Well, I think that's where the beauty lies, using technology to tell a good story. Clean 3.0, specifically with the new multi-shot feature, was a massive help for me to synchronize every one of these scenes. The level of control I had to join these scenes together was, quite frankly, absolutely incredible to experience.
If you had to express the core idea of the film in just one sentence, what question or maybe feeling did you want the audience to leave with?
Well, my idea, my reflection, everyone has their own, but what I would like is for us not to forget that there is a left side, that we don't forget that it often gets left in the dark, and that we don't forget that we are all part of a world in which we would like to live in peace and harmony. That would be my idea.
Thank you so much for a thoughtful and impactful work, and we'll look forward to your future projects.
I would like to thank you very much for conducting this interview today. Those were truly some of the most insightful, thought-provoking questions. I genuinely enjoyed the process of considering my responses, and I look forward to seeing you again in the near future. So, goodbye for now.